Yep. I always have to look, see if we switch seats again. It is cold in here.
It's a little chilly, yeah. How's everything going?
You can change.
I think there's no
Alright.
USB ports on there.
We're going to get started. I know we're a few minutes late, so I'm going to call the meeting to order at 7:07. If we could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our October meeting. Thank you for coming. I'm going to keep my remarks very brief because we started a few minutes late and we have the auditors somewhere will be coming up in a few minutes to present to us. I'm going to just say that unfortunately I need to leave tonight at 7:45 because I have a dental emergency. So our vice president will be taking over for me. So don't miss me too much, but you'll be in capable hands with Ed. Who knows? Maybe we'll be done by then, but I doubt it. So I'm going to just, and I'm going to remind everyone that next month our monthly meeting, November, will be the day after Election Day. So it's not going to be on Tuesday. It's going to be on Wednesday, November 9th. It's on the calendar. Dr. Signac, I turn it over to you.
Okay, I think we'll begin with the auditor's report from R.S. Abrams. We have it on the screen. Is she live?
Should be. Joe? Yeah.
I think we should move on while you're troubleshooting because I don't want to waste everyone's time.
R.S. Abrams. Well, I could do the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Right. R.S. Thanks.
No, I was just saying, I thought maybe we could move, we're
Oh,
not
you
going to
wanna-
get them
oh,
back
okay,
on.
then
No,
we'll
I
do
just
this.
thought
Yeah,
while
why
they're
don't we
working,
do
we could
this
just start.
items? I thought you wanted us to give it.
No,
Okay.
I don't know if I
Why
think
don't we
we
do
need
the
the auditors.
business
I just thought we
items,
could move on with
We
the
could put
business
that at the
until,
end.
we could do that at the end, so that way, or before public comment,
That's
in
perfect.
case anyone has any questions regarding the audit, but I don't want to sit here and
Agree.
not do anything. So, superintendent's comments.
Welcome to our October meeting. Tomorrow is International Walk to School Day. The weather looks amazing, so very excited for all of the activities that our PTA has put together at each of our buildings. We also this month have our Trunk or Treat on October 21st from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock at Fayette School. Looking forward to another great event where the line goes down Merrick Avenue. We had a job fair. Ms. Cadiz ran a job fair last Thursday evening, and we were able to secure several candidates for different open positions in the district, and they are now being finalized and processed. We also have our Parent University coming up on October 25th The time is 6 o'clock. It says 7 o'clock on the calendar. That is a mistake. The principals will be putting out a notice if they did not already. They did, that it is 6 o'clock here inside at Fayette. We had our PTA District Council meeting this morning. We spoke a lot about insurance. We're very pleased with the partnership between Mr. McDade's office, my office, the PTA presidents, and the principals in working through these insurance issues. And at this point, every vendor or every company that they have asked to come in, we have been able to pull it off. And we're very proud of that because it's more for our children. We also we did have a spotlight, superintendent spotlight in Newsday last month about our mental health and wellness programs. A Newsday reporter did contact us last week and he wanted to know more about those programs. So looking forward to more of a spotlight in Newsday to come. Once they solidify the date of the article, I will be able to let everyone know about that. And we have New York State Education Department is moving forward with their computer-based testing. Grades 5 and grades 8 will, in spring of 2024, be mandated to take computer-based testing for the state assessments. So our plan is to move our 4th and 6th graders this year to computer-based testing in the spring so that they are prepared. And that is the plan that most elementary districts are moving forward with to properly prepare our students. And that's all I got.
Thank you. If we can have a motion for the routine approvals for A, 4B, 4C. Motion by Ms. Miller, second by Mr. Nella. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Married? Okay, unanimously? Okay. How are we doing with?
I think I got it.
All right, what else?
All right.
Thank you for inviting me to present the results of the audit. I'm going to prepare it. I have an overview of the audit. I have a great report to present tonight. The district did receive an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion you could get as a school district. We had no problems giving you a clean opinion. The books were in great shape, minimal journal entries. I thought the business office did an excellent job. I wanted to thank Tom McDade and the rest of the business office for all the hard work they did this year in helping my team get the audit done in a timely manner. They're always very proactive and cooperative when we bring any recommendations to their attention. So kudos to the business office on this audit. A couple other things I wanted to just kind of overview is we do give you recommendations with regards to any testing or any reviews that we do. This year, you only had one management letter comment. Last year, you did not have any, which is great to see. There's nothing that we considered significant. However, there was one recommendation, and this really had to do with just a 1-year snapshot of your fund balance. This year, you were over the 4% this year, and that really had to do with additional COVID reimbursements that you got this year for some of your expenditures for about $1.1 million. So that was the reason for this year for being over that 4%. I know that the district does have a plan in place to bring you back in alignment with the 4%. And this is really the only year that I've ever seen you go over that 4%. So I think this is just a one year deal, and then you'll bring it back in line for the upcoming year. So really only one comment, which was great to see as far as any internal control recommendations. Overall, financially, your fund balance did go up this year for the general fund. So as you can see, it was $807,000 increase, and that was primarily due to that additional COVID money that you did get this year. And you also have some reserves in place for your long-term planning. So that's all your restricted funds. You have assigned fund balance, which you've been weaning off. That's what you put in your next year's budget. So that's a good strategy that you are pulling back on your assigned fund balance this year. And your unassigned this year was the $2,740,000, which is really for any unforeseen expenses or state aid shortfalls. That's your savings account. So it is important to have monies in a savings account for anything that may come up that you didn't expect in the budget. So overall, you had a good year this year. The increase was about 15% from the prior year. The next is really just the other funds that you do have in place. Your school food service program, that did go up this year, and that had to do with additional funding you got from the federal government for providing the free meals to the children. Capital projects did go up slightly, and that really had to do with your capital projects funding exceeding the capital outlay, which was your capital expenses for any capital projects you had. So overall, the governmental funds did increase $976,000 for all the different funds that I just went over. This year, like I said, you did go up $807,000 this year, and that really was due to that CARES Act expense reimbursement for the grant monies this year. Your fund balance and your restricted fund balance did decrease this year because you have been using the reserves in your budget. So that was primarily the reason for the decrease this year. You were able to refund some of those reserves. However, overall, the restricted fund balance did go down compared to the prior year. School food service we talked about. So this slide I kind of went over already. This year, there was a new GASB that we implemented this year. So it is reflected in your financials this year. And it had to do with any leases that you do have in place for use of any equipment. So the district does have leases. If they're longer than 1 year, they get captured in this new GASB and is reported on your long-term financial statement. So you did have some for Chromebooks, you had some smart boards, leases, you had some postage machines and Xerox copiers. So that was something new this year that was reflected on your financials. Next year, there will be another new GASB that we'll be implementing, which has to do with any subscription-based technology arrangements that you do have. So we will be reviewing those in the upcoming year to implement that and reflect that on next year's financials. So just an overview of financial health. So it's really important to have a strong financial health, and it really assists in your credit rating, reduces your borrowing costs. Also will fund any unbudgeted contingent expenses or any state aid shortfalls. And by having that strong balance sheet or fund balance, it will preserve existing programs and opportunities for the students. So overall, both audits, the audit and the management letter reflected, very strong controls. And this year you did have a strong year overall as far as fund balance this year. So thank you once again for all the help that the district provided to get us the information we needed for the audit, and very happy with the results this year. Does anybody have any questions?
I think first I'd like to open up to the board. If there are any board members that have any questions. We were able to speak with Mary Ann prior, and I'd like, yeah, okay, I'm going a little out of order. So, but for public comment, I'm going to just read it now, and this is an agenda item. So I want the public, if you have any questions to Mary Ann, I want you to be able to, ask her right now. So the guidelines are the same. Any person wishing to make comments or raise questions shall fill out a comment card. After you're called, please come forward to the microphone, state your full name. All comments or questions will be directed to me or to Dr. Siniak. The board and administration will do our best to immediately respond to your questions, and out of courtesy and fairness to the rest of the audience, each person will limit his or her remarks to no more than 3 minutes, not to exceed a 30-minute session. Public discussion with respect to confidential matters is prohibited. So this is just on agenda items, and really, this is just, if you have anything on anything on the agenda, but especially on our audit. So if anyone has, speak now or forever hold your peace. Just kidding. You can write us an email. But, and no questions. All right.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Okay. Wait, I just said public. No questions by the public. All right. So we're gonna end public comment number 1 tonight. Mr. Nella, go for it.
What governmental accounting standard board? Is that something new, Tom?
No, GASB's
That's
been around for a little while. It's something like, it's up to number 87 right now, and then 96.
What exactly is that?
It's the Government Accountability Standards Board, which basically gives all the government accounting rules and regulations that the school districts basically follow.
All right, thank you. So they just make the numbers up and they go?
Increasing, keep going on.
All right. There are any other questions for our auditors? Can Mary Ann leave?
I'm here.
All right. I think
Great.
you're dismissed
I
tonight.
have
Does
one
anybody have any
question.
questions?
Just thank you for that breakdown of all the numbers. And if you could sum it up, how is the district's fiscal health, as compared to what you would view as the model or the standard?
So this year, your fund balance did increase, so your fiscal health definitely did improve this year. So, that was great to see. So I think overall, it was definitely a good year this year. So you're moving in the right direction. And I know that with regards to the borrowings, the TAN borrowings, I don't believe in the following year you'll be taking any more TAN borrowings. So that would be a good thing also. So I think the one comment I did have was with the budget, just trying to continue weaning off the appropriated fund balance to fund your budget and have more of a balanced budget, and as well as including appropriated reserves in your budget, trying not to rely on those fund balance and reserves when you're doing your budget, which I know that the district is incorporating that into their fiscal plan for the upcoming year. So they plan on pulling back on that side. So that was one recommendation I did have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks, Miriam.
I
No
just
more
want to,
questions?
no questions. You are free to go.
Okay, all right, thank you. Have a good night.
Moving on to our business, I just need to amend 6C. The resolution should read, the Board of Education approves entering into an agreement with Scope Education Services for a 6-week Saturday enrichment program at no cost to the district. So we need to strike 5 and replace it with 6.
6, okay.
So I'm going, and if you notice tonight, which is very fitting for our audit presentation, we're going to be voting on the budget calendar. So that will be available. So would like to ask for a motion to approve 6A to 6L.
Let's get the motion on the amendment.
Oh, I didn't know how to do that. All right, a motion. Thank you, Neil.
Sure.
Glad you're here.
That's over here.
A motion to approve, to amend 6C. 6C, motion, Mary, second by Kathy, all in favor, aye. Now I'd like,
Aye.
thank you. Sure. Sure, so a motion to approve 6A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, and L. A motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Will, second by Tracy, all in favor, aye. And then I'm just going to ask for a motion to approve 6E.
Motion.
Make the motion, we have a
Second.
second by Will, and then if there's a discussion on the motion.
I need to discuss
Oh.
it, I'm just not voting for it.
Oh, okay, no problem. All right, so a motion
So we have
to
vote on
approve.
separate.
Okay, so,
You already got the motion on the floor.
yes,
it's been
motion on the
seconded.
floor.
Please take the
I
vote.
got, thanks, Neil.
Can we discuss for a second?
Yes.
Uh,
you do-
Why not?
Because I'm concerned about the shell game where we're not addressing the root of the problem. And I'm very nervous about our lack of funds, especially how we're really using our reserve funds the last few years. So this moving money around, I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah, but that,
And on that note, I'd like to mention that I am comfortable and I will be voting in favor of this tonight at the recommendation of our business manager, superintendent, and our auditors and our superintendent. So I'd like to note that on the record.
Well, to be clear, the auditors didn't recommend
No.
this, but
Well,
they,
they actually, I thought they did approve it when we discussed it. I asked, yes.
What they did say during the whole meeting was that the plan of weaning off reserves, the reserve plan itself goes through each reserve that we have and tells us what we're planning on doing for the future. One of the things the auditors did recommend was that we start weaning off of use of reserves.
To fund the budget, which
fund
we
the
have
budget.
shown substantial improvement in that we're down to 295,000 in the appropriated fund balance move, which is funding the budget, down from when I got here, it was about 800 to 900,000. So that's something that you can't do in 1 year. It's something that you gradually do because you can't just take $900,000 and decide not to put it in the budget.
And this, let me just be clear, this will take us off the fiscally distressed list?
Yes, correct.
Yes,
Okay.
by going
And
above
that-
the
and that was-
4%.
Excuse me, that was noted and stated by our auditors. They
By
agreed.
our accountants.
I mean,
Cohen
accountants,
and
that,
Denelson.
that it would take us off the list
Correct.
And we have an email
Yes.
in writing.
In red.
in writing.
So question, Mary. So our reserve plan actually asks us to overfund a reserve. So what exactly are you against?
I'm against not getting to the root of the problem that that we're short on money. And it's been going on for years.
I think the root of the problem was that we didn't get paid yet by the government, and there was a national pandemic, and we were forced not to close, lay off any teachers, staff, or stop any programs. So I think the root of the problem is that we did not get paid by the government. So I think, again, hopefully we'll get paid timely by the government, but in the meantime, we're going to get off the fiscally distressed list, which every board member has voiced their concern about. But I appreciate your view.
Okay, but hold on. That was addressed to me.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously, a national pandemic that every school district encountered on Long Island.
We didn't,
So, and
we
not
didn't
every
cut any
district,
programs. We didn't lay off any teachers.
which is great. You guys asked
Or
me
staff.
questions, and that's why I'm answering.
We actually increased programs.
Yes, we increased the services that were provided to students, and our virtual program cost us $1.2 million and was second to none. Any school district on Long Island, our virtual program was excellent. And as the needs rose for children, we addressed them with personnel and services, whether it was in person or virtually. And that's why, even though we are addressing learning loss, which is one of the three things that this American Rescue Plan money and the CARES Act money is supposed to be used for, the amount of learning loss that we are experiencing compared to the data of other school districts is substantially lower because of the services that we provided during the pandemic to our students, whether they were in person or virtually.
Also, Mary, you mentioned other school districts on Long Island, and we discussed it many times. The reserves are funded by leftovers from the year before. And when you're working with a budget as small as ours, there aren't as many leftovers as there are in K through 12 districts, which are much larger budget. So it's unique to us. And, we came up with this really great reserve plan to get us off the fiscally distressed list. And again, we as a board, we understand exactly what the tribulations of working with a very small budget is. So I'm curious what your plan would be to fund these reserves.
Ed, I'm not an auditor or anywhere in the financial field.
Right?
I understand you don't like my vote here,
No,
but
that's not
we're
the
a
case.
board.
Not-
We
that's
all
not at all.
don't need
Not at
to
all.
agree. I was not comfortable from the moment that happened last month when this whole thing was pushed very quickly on us. From the moment I read it, I was not comfortable with it. My reasons haven't changed. I'm not approving it because my reasons for not feeling comfortable with it the last time are still the same.
Okay, so I'm going to move on because.
Well, wait, I'd like to say
Oh, no,
something.
I just want to adjust one thing because, again, it was not pushed through. We had a timeline, a deadline. The auditors, the accountants told us we had to do this by a certain time frame. If that was correct, Mr. McDade. So nothing. And I'm not an accountant or an auditor, but I listen to ours and I listen to the people that we hired and put in these positions, and we pay them to do that for day-to-day operations. So I'm gonna vote yes again because of the recommendations that experts made. But anyone else, any discussion on the motion? Ms. Miller?
I only want to say, I take a little umbrage at the idea that it's a shell game. We have done it, it's here, it's in the auditor's report, because a shell game implies that we did something underhanded. And all of these things are public. We do all of this in public. We don't do any of this in a backroom deal that never gets to
very
the
transparent.
community. It's very transparent. And, look, we respect the right for you to take that vote how you
Yeah.
want, but to categorize it as something illegal, I take a little umbrage with,
All right,
because
okay,
that's my.
You guys are the ones that
That's-
described it to me as that. I didn't come up with that title. That's how it was
shell game?
presented to me.
No, I remember talking to you about this. I remember saying it's like waiting for your bonus.
That's what you
Right.
said, but that's not
Right.
how it was first presented. That's Initially,
Okay.
it was a shell game. That's what
Okay, I don't remember that, but okay. I don't.
Any other discussion on the motion before we take a final vote and move on?
Yeah, I just want to say, I think that we did a great job during the pandemic, and I'm going to vote for this, the reserve plan. But to Mary's point, I do think that it's important for the board to affirm that we agree that there's still work to be done on the
Sure.
budget. And I think the auditor has also
Yes.
pointed out that there's work to be done to get the budget more in balance, so that we're not, skating right against the edge every single time. And then we can continue to fund the reserves. And I think that that's what this reserve plan is trying to do.
And
Well said.
Any other discussion on the motion tonight? Okay, let's take a final vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Keen? Motion carries. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna, once this, the budget, the schedule, we're gonna publish this on the website, I guess.
Yes, tomorrow morning.
All right, a motion to approve our personal actions report 7A. Ms. Moran, second by Mr. Luciano. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Motion to approve our special services 8A, B, and C.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Miller, second by Ms. Keen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Report of committees, high school.
High school meets tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Right,
so there will be no high school
We
report tonight.
anticipate a lengthy report in November.
Next month.
Yeah.
School,
Right.
community relations.
we'll
and
have
PTA
two.
Council, is that
Sure, I'll do the PTA today.
PTA, Mr. Corona?
Okay, so because we were off yesterday, we had the council meeting today. Let's go through the roundtable here. Camp Avenue had their picture day, great success. They're going to move to 2 days next year. They're working on getting a jump bunch after school. It'll be K through 2, and they'll have a lottery since they can only have 25 kids. Camp Avenue is also having their book fair on Thursday, 10/13. And the next PTA meeting is 10/18 at 7:30. Old Mill Road has had their Harlem Wizards Assembly. I heard about that. They were very excited and very emotional that they got that in. They're having their mum sale. Atlantic Nursery has picked up on September 30th. Right now, they're in the middle of their Grandma's Gourmet Pie sale. It goes from 9/28 to 10/14. And they're selling class T-shirts. That goes to 10/14 as well. And of course, this Adventureland on 10/29. Fayette Reflection started on October 3rd. It's due on November 4th. They'll have their fall festival on October 31st. They had a family outdoor movie night, which was on September 23rd, which I don't remember that night, but it was very cold, they said. But they had a great time anyway. They had something like 500 families or people out there, actually, and did a very good job with that. The Fayette School Book Fair will be in the gym on October 14th. The next PTA meeting will be October 12th at 7 p.m. Okay. SEPTA has a spooky bingo to be held in person at Fayette on October 27th at 6:30. And they're having a Boo Bags fundraiser that I think just ended in September. Oh, actually, it's going to close on October 7th, so that's over with. During the middle of this meeting, we did have a discussion about building use and insurance. I know it's been very difficult this year for the PTA to schedule all these wonderful events and to keep up with getting insurance for the vendors. There was a great conversation about that, and also talking about working together as a district so they can alleviate some of the pressure on getting these vendors approved and getting the insurance, and it sounded like we were headed in the right direction. We did have a great update from Dr. Seniak about the district. We heard about that in the superintendent's report today. We also had curriculum updates from Guidici. Miss Guidici told us about different Parent University, October 25th. We also had Wings parent meeting October 3rd, and that's starting very soon. Ms. Talbot gave us an update on different technology things. We had Hispanic Heritage Month coming up, digital citizenship, anti-bullying, and a research project called Going on a Leaf Hunt. And that is all I have.
I just want to add, Camp Avenue is in person 10/18 at 7:30. Old Mill Road is in person at 7 o'clock on the same day. And Fayette's is this week.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Right? Tomorrow night? Tomorrow.
The 12th is
Yep, the
tomorrow.
12th,
Oh,
tomorrow.
Here, it's 7.
And then also with the Fayette with their movie night, the custodians were incredible at with helping the screen not fly away. So the Fayette PTA was so appreciative for the incredible job they did, especially keeping the screen on the ground.
Secure.
Okay, thank you to you both. We're going to defer the buildings and grounds report to November. Sam is not here tonight. Communications, there were no communications received. Any unfinished business by the board?
Yeah, we had discussed putting together some sort of like working group to discuss the role of the budget committee in addition to expanding the budget calendar. Can we talk about, like putting that together and getting that on the calendar or at least further moved along?
Yeah, we did.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, okay.
On the budget calendar for, that will be posted tomorrow, we do have the one additional meeting
Right.
at the end of January. And we spoke about at that meeting, obviously the format would be to discuss the budget process, take a look at last year's budget before entering into the new budget creation, and almost having an introduction to that and sitting more at a round table, going line by line, gaining the feedback of all the stakeholders, and actually extending our meetings to an hour instead of a half hour, so there can be a presentation portion and then a sit-down portion to gain that important feedback from stakeholders. Does that address what you were asking?
I think for this budget year, I think so, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other unfinished business? Any new business?
I've got a question about new business. I know last year we had some discussions about the district's presence on social media. And I know we've been already in school for a month. I'm wondering if we had any updates. I heard a little bit today at PTA Council. I wonder if you had any updates about our social media presence.
I definitely think that we've come out of the gate running. We have a presence on our district Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the school Twitter handles, Dr. Bromberg, big user. We started with hashtag North Merrick Minute, then we moved on to hashtag NMerrick Pride. We also adopted from John Paul Gonzalez, our keynote speaker, All In, hashtag All In. He's even spoken about North Merrick on his social media. I know our Wings program, our library media program, very strong on social media. Our PTAs are doing spirit-wide days. At the first Wednesday of every month, we actually post it on Parent Square and then also on Facebook, and then the pictures get loaded up for the parents and staff to see. I think Parent Square has really helped also with our communication. Social media is not only about just posting, it's about being able to communicate in a very convenient way. And what it allows is parents to be able to sort how they would like those communications all at once, at the end of the day, or immediately when they go out. We're very happy with the adoption of Parent Square. I guess also Miss Gadis, she has her Instagram. I think I have, was it J Gadis?
Yes.
Underscore. Schools, right. And then your Twitter, you announced at the PTA meetings, and I know as she goes around to the different schools for morning meetings, closing circles. So I definitely see an increase in our social media presence, and I know your followers are up to,
I'm like almost up to 80.
I think that night she started with 6. Yeah.
Should we go with 10?
Yeah. So we are definitely improving.
Great.
What are the continued areas of improvement that you'd like to expand on for our social media presence?
Continued areas of improvement. Basically, to be honest with you, from an instructional standpoint, I'd like to ensure that our students understand proper use of social media and that we model that as a school district, as employees of a school district, as parents, because I think that's most important. These tools are great, but if they're misused or if they're inappropriately used, then it defeats the purpose. So as an educator, I would have to say that that is my continued eye on this.
I think that's important, but for the district using social media to communicate, I think that there is room for improvement further, of course. So I just wonder if there's like any concrete goals. I know, for example, that the various schools have used some of the schools have used social media much more frequently than others. And I think I saw there's like some schools are using Merrick Proud and some are using Merrick Pride. And I think it would be good to get everyone on the same page with what the hashtag that we're using is. So I guess I'm just asking for like specific or concrete.
Hey, well, how about we
Cool.
have a class for the old times, Ed?
I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't think that we needed to have the same exact hashtag across all buildings. And we started with NM hashtag what was it, NM Minute, and then we went to N Merrick Pride. I think each year, Hillary, did you want to, you're the hashtagger. Proud.
Right. Right. I think at least one of the schools is still using Merrick Pride. So
Steve, you're in
we
charge.
just
of
get
this.
that straightened out. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
All right. As with technology, it changes every day, and that's not my area of expertise. Actually, but I'm learning. And
Who would be the one in charge of, I guess, the social media for the district?
well, Christine Talbot,
Talbot,
the
Ms. Talbot still?
principals,
The
yes,
principals.
they play a big role in it. Ms. Cadiz is leading us as well. Actually, yeah, so I would have to say to everybody, but obviously there's always room for improvement, whether it be personally or for the district.
And I think that there's been a great amount of progress made already.
Okay,
That's good.
thank you.
Tremendous amount of
Good to
progress,
hear.
I think. I love Jacqueline's.
I love you. We're gonna move along. Public comment. This is anything you'd like to talk about. Public comment, any commenters this evening? It's a quiet group tonight. All right. That being said, I'm glad I had to tell you all I'm going to the dentist right now. You wouldn't have to
Perfect
know,
timing.
but I'm going to the dentist. I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn. I'll see you everyone next November 9th.
Perfect. Bye.
Motion, yes.
Second.
Unanimous. Okay, we're done. Have a good night.
Thank you for my stuff back. I appreciate it.
Wow.
I know.
I to get into anything like curriculum related. I saw that there's